One of the biggest human fears is public speaking, which is really kind of interesting because I think it comes in second after flying on an aeroplane, which, you know, I love flying and I don't mind speaking. So it's kind of interesting to me that this is one of the biggest fears. And from what I've heard and the research that I've done and the people that I've spoken to, there are quite a few different reasons for this. It could be that they're worried about the fear of judgment, what other people are going to say and therefore think about them. And I think a really big part, the underlying piece to all of this, is that they don't necessarily know exactly what it is that they're going to say. And that's where that fear comes in. So the fear of running out of your words, the fear of not knowing what to say, the fear of forgetting your words. So what I would really love to share with you today is how we can combat this, how you can create confidence, and some of the steps that you can follow in order to be able to make this as easy as humanly possible. Hi, I'm Nicola. Welcome to our blog for today, which is all about public speaking. Now, public speaking to me is any time that you are speaking, whether it's on a blog, whether it's on a podcast, whether you're in the room, whether you're going to a networking event, or even running one of your own. One of the biggest fears in the whole entire world is speaking, as we've said. So why is this? Now, like I shared with you before, I think a big part about this is people are worried what other people are going to say and think about what they're saying. Now, first things that you need to be aware of. Number one, it's not your business what anybody else thinks about you. Okay, you might be standing in a room and talking to people, and there might be 100 people in the room. There will be, I can guarantee it, there will be some people in that room who don't resonate with what you're saying or with everything that you're saying. There will be some people in that room who are like, you know what, I actually don't agree with you. But the biggest percentage of people will like you. They will find you inspiring. They will find you motivating. They will find you articulate. They will find you knowledgeable. But the first part of being able to do that really confidently, to even be able to stand up and speak, is by knowing your stuff and having a strategy in how to do that. Now, two of the best ways that you can connect with people are talking with them one-on-one and building rapport that way, or speaking to a group of people and building rapport that way. Yeah, so like a leveraged way of doing that would be via a video blog or something like that. The way that we can really connect with people emotionally though is by letting yourself out there, by opening up your heart. And some of the easiest, most simple ways to do that is by sharing some stories. So the way that we can do this, the first thing that you need to be aware of is going, okay, well, who are the people in the room? And what is a common link that they all have that you might be able to share a story around? When I first started in this business in 2010, I was helping people get themselves out there in a way that felt really, really good. And I was using ways of branding yourself personally for this. So with how you dress, with how you show up, with how you create a presence and that gasp around you when you walk in the room and have everyone be like, oh, who is that? I'm going to go and talk to her. So that was what we were doing. Now, when I first started speaking about this and running workshops, I was like, right, who are the people that are going to be in the room? And most of them I knew would be women. There was a handful of guys in there, but primarily it was women that I was talking to. And so I was telling stories about how I used to dress up as a kid, and I remember going with my mum actually we didn't have a lot of money when I was growing up, and I remember going into a Salvation Army store, and I was like, oh Mum, I found these pair of shoes on the shoe wall. I think this was maybe the start of my shoe addiction. There was this shoe wall, and I remember going up and I found these little shoes. They were little ballet flats, and they were kind of like hard on the bottom, and when I put them on, the floor was concrete, and I put them on and I was like, click clop, click clop, click clop, click clop, click clop. I was like, oh, Mum, can I get these shoes? I really, really want them. And she's like, Nicola, you don't need them. I'm like, oh, but Mum, they'll go with my dress ups at home and, I'll wear them, I promise. I love them. Please let me have them. They had those little cutouts on the top of them. And so she eventually said yes. And so I got them home. I'm nothing if not persistent. Got home and I put my favorite dress up dress, which was like this thin cotton and it had flowers printed on it. It had a gorgeous little belt that did up, and we had wooden floorboards in our house. And so I put my dress on with my click-clack ballet flats. And so I pranced around like I was, Queen Bee, click-clacking up the hallway, feeling $1 million. Now, most girls, to be very gender specific, most girls can recall a time where they played dress-ups. Like, most girls can recall a time where they put on high heels or even any shoes and click-clacked on the concrete or on the tiles or on the floorboards. So that story created rapport because it tapped in with the majority of the people's experience in the room. I know I'm being very generalistic and it won't resonate with everybody, but it resonated with most of the people who were in there. And then I started talking about how we've kind of lost the art of dressing up and spending time to get ready in the morning because we're also, go, rush type lifestyle that we're in. And we've kind of neglected this beautiful ritual of self-care and getting ready. And then at the other end of the day, taking it all off and brushing our hair 100 times and stuff like that. So that really related to people taking care of themselves, getting dressed up, feeling really good in what it is that they're wearing. So think about your audience and what is a common link within all of them that also kind of ties in with your area of expertise. And then the way that we structure those stories is like, okay, so where were you when you first learned this or when you experienced that? And then what did you do? And then where are you now as a result of all of those things that you've done? So stories have a way of binding people together, like creating that common link, which is really, really cool. The other way that you can really create a cool connection with people is by telling them the kind of journey that you've been on and the trials and the tribulations and the crap that you've had to overcome because of this journey that you decided to be on. If you think about that beautiful story model, the hero's journey, it talks about this call to adventure. And then, the trials and tribulations that you go along and you're going at it alone and then you hire a mentor and then usually something happens and you end up deep in the dark of the abyss and it feels like you can't get out, and then you kind of come back around and then there's that, that redemption part of that story as well. So the hero's journey is a really great framework as well for you to be able to tell and share stories around. The reason that this is so important is people want to be able to get to know you. They want to get to know your heart. They want to see that you're a multi-dimensional person, not just a one-dimensional cardboard cutout figure who only does one thing, who has no empathy, who has no experience, who has no understanding of where somebody else might be at. So telling stories actually shares all of this. And the byproduct of this is that it creates authority for you. It creates positioning. It actually helps you to enhance your personal brand. All right, so make sure you're telling stories. Make sure you're sharing that. And it's really interesting because what I've seen when I'm at events and I'm facilitating trainings, or whether it's offline or whether it's online, the thing that I notice is the more stories I share, the more people are like, oh, okay, cool, she's actually like us. Yeah, I might be a bit further along, or, I might know different things in different areas and stuff like that, but really, I'm just like you. I'm just like everybody else. I don't think that any of us are really that different to each other, and stories help people to be like, you know what, this person's real. And yep, I resonate with her or him, or you know what, I don't, and that's great. Then they can vote with their feet. If you've got any questions about this, or you're curious to learn how you can build this into your own brand and your authority, leave them below. You can see that big banner below where you can book in a session with me. You're very welcome to do that, and we can discuss how we can work together. Otherwise, have a really amazing day, and I will see you in the next video.